This week on MBC Connect, we learn about Milledgeville Main Street and their recent designation as a Great American Main Street Community. Hello and welcome to MBC Connect. I'm your host, April Bragg, and this week we're talking with Carlee Schulte, the director of Milledgeville Main Street Downtown Development Authority, about some recent recognition for Main Street. Hey Carlee, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, glad to have you. The
Thanks
last
for
time I
having me.
had you here, we were talking about the success of the Boost program and First Friday, and I believe at that time you had just received the designation from the Georgia Downtown Association for Program of the Year.
Yes.
So tell us how that went and sort of what's been happening since then.
Okay, well, we definitely were surprised and excited to get that award. It was last year in Savannah at the Georgia Downtown Association Conference. It's a statewide conference. And the designation mainly comes when, you know, you're showing progress in all four areas of the Main Street approach, which is organization, design, promotion, and economic development. So we have done a pretty good job. In the past few years, there's been some major changes and just additions to our program, as well as some great developments that have happened that have gotten us recognition that has helped a lot to garner that award. So we're very excited about that, and you know, we've just been moving forward and lots of different new exciting developments happening. It's been great.
Well, and it really has, and there are so many visible signs, as you mentioned, of the progress that's going on downtown. In fact, just a few weeks ago, we joined you guys as a chamber in celebrating the opening of the farmers market, for the downtown pavilion with the farmers market. So update everybody on how that's going and what all is being held in that facility now.
Yes, I forgot about that. We got a USDA grant to build that pavilion, and so it was a long process, but we finally got the pavilion opened and had our grand opening. That was for our 6th year, and now we are
Which is hard to believe that it's been 6 years since we started.
Yeah. It's really, it flies by when you're having fun, I guess.
Absolutely.
But we're renting it out also to community groups, you know, for Saturday afternoon. We also have the Green Farmers Market that rents it every Saturday morning. So they're there. So now, as a community, we offer 2 weekly farmers markets, and then we also have partnered with the Presbyterian Church Fall Line Farmers Market for First Friday. So we have enough fresh fruits and vegetables to go around for the community, and it's just been another addition to our downtown area.
Yeah, and just to recap that schedule for those of you who are interested, the downtown market is Tuesday afternoons from 4 to 7. Saturday mornings is the Green Market that was previously at the Greenway.
Correct.
And that's from
9 to 12.
9 to 12, and then on First Fridays with the Fall Line Farmers Market.
5 to 8.
Yeah, during First Friday. So, I mean, as you said, lots of opportunity, which, you know, again, healthy lifestyle, signs of a healthy community. And another sign, you know, if you are walking downtown or passing through, you can't help but notice the construction. You can't help but notice some of the buildings downtown that have been vacant for a very long time that have some hustle and bustle about them. So some new tenants and some activity going on downtown. Is there any of that you can share with us?
Yes, we do have a new project on the corner of Wayne and Hancock. It's the one that's not developed out of the 4, and it's been previously called the Baldwin or the Bishop building, and the Martins purchased it recently. They are also the owners of Antebellum Inn, so they are investing in our community. We're very excited to have them, and that project will be 4 one-bedroom apartments and 2 to 4 commercial retail spaces. So we're really excited about that. I get calls all the time about businesses that would like to open, since that has such just great visibility on that corner. So I think it'll fill up quick and just be another great development for our downtown to prosper.
Yeah, well, and you know, and one of the things I think that was so instrumental in the recognition that you received with the Georgia Downtown and otherwise was the Baldwin coming online and everything that Frank Pendergast, you know, worked through to get that project off the ground and then for it to fill up so quickly, both with residential as well as commercial tenants, and just the success and attention that has brought, I think, have encouraged other, you know, potential, you know, developers and entrepreneurs to come in and make that investment in our downtown. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that.
Yes, we do
here
have
to
some
come.
things online that we can't talk about yet, but we're very excited about. Frank Pendergast has worked even prior to me being here with other directors to get that project going, and it's been a long road, and I know he's excited that it's finally done and filled, but it's definitely brought additional attention. Anywhere I go for conferences, they're like, is Milledgeville here for the Baldwin Loft? So we definitely get statewide recognition for that project, and how creative it was, the incentives that were used, and the different financing options. So
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
been wonderful.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of other things we haven't been able to talk about, just I guess maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, there was a film crew in town because Mainstreet was named, or Milledgeville was named, one of 10 semifinalists for the Great American Mainstreet Award, which is awarded annually and is a very prestigious honor. And I think you've got a cat to let out of the bag for us, so I'll let you do the honors.
We were kind of telling a little fib. They were actually here filming. They filmed only the 3 communities that won the Great American Mainstreet. So we are, as of now, officially designated as a Great American Mainstreet community. There's only 2 other communities in the state of Georgia that have received this designation, Rome, Georgia, and Thomasville. But it's been going on for about 20 years. We haven't had a win in Georgia for the past 10, or 13 actually, but we're very excited. It's a really great designation. I think it's going to do a lot for our community, bring up community pride, which is important. It's going to bring tourism here, gives us statewide as well as national recognition, which is always, statewide's good, but any bigger you can go is a plus. So tourism, developments as well. We really hope that it'll bring new developers. Granted, we've got some great ones here, but any addition and new business. So we're very, very excited about that.
Yeah, well, it's so exciting, and as you said, with only 2 other communities in the state that have been designated, it certainly gives us yet another opportunity to put Milledgeville on the map.
Yes.
And one of the beauties of this award or this designation is that it's not a Great American Mainstreet community for 2014. This is a lifelong mark. This is a stamp on our community that we can use going forward as a calling card. And I think it just means, as you said, more great things to come for not only our downtown, but our entire community.
Yes, that's what's important. I think downtown, obviously, excuse me, downtown's maybe the heart of our city, the hub of some of the action, but our whole community is really flourishing. So we definitely have a lot to be excited about in the coming years.
Well, on that note, when we come back, I'll continue to talk to Carlee about the Great American Mainstreet community designation that was just received and what that means for Milledgeville, Baldwin County. Stay with us.
Did you take your medicine?
Oh gosh, I forgot it.
Her nurse. You need a claim number? Her personal assistant.
Let me just grab a...
Her housekeeper. Her cook. Her accountant. When I started taking care of Mom, I didn't realize the challenge of playing so many roles. But above all, I'm still her daughter.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving to connect with experts and other caregivers. Together we can better care for ourselves and the ones we love.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning. 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash? 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to MBC Connect. My guest today is Carlee Schulte with Milledgeville Mainstreet, and we're here with Carlee's first interview since Mainstreet received the Great American Mainstreet Community designation.
Yes.
So, kind of a big deal, Carlee.
Yes, we're very excited.
Tell us how this whole process got started and how one even goes about, applying or being recognized with this credential.
Well, it's, I get emails, of course, like any, entity. They get emails and different opportunities you have to apply for this award or that designation, that sort of thing. I honestly wasn't, I had planned on doing it, and then I looked at the application, and it was very thorough, and we were very busy, so I was like, I don't think I have time, and I ended up calling our state rep in the Department of Community Affairs, and she said, you need to do this. So it was not last second by any means, but I was kind of like not expecting to. So we started on it. We worked very hard, myself and Dina, the two people at Mainstreet, and we knocked it out. We gave, it was about a 13-page application, and you have to kind of give some information about why your community and your downtown is a great place to live, work, play, and visit. So we have plenty of things. The hardest part was actually there's certain questions where you could only use 500 words.
Right.
And paring that down, but making sure that it sounded as good as it needed to.
Well, as impactful as it could be.
Yes, yeah. We wanted to, make us win, make us shine. So it took some time, but when we applied, then it was over, and we were hoping to get something. I found out first that we made semifinalists. First, that's the top 10 in the nation. Of course, they sent an email saying this was one of the hardest application groups that they've had to choose from, so that makes you feel good. And about a week later, I received the email, in advance before the conference that we had won. And so I, had to brace myself and try and figure out what to do. And then I partnered with, you and the Visitor Center and the Development Authority to try and figure out how we could wrap our heads around this and make sure that we get as much out of it as we could.
Which I think is something that was a little bit unexpected. I mean, you and I both are quasi-professional conference attenders, for lack of a better term, just with all the hats that we wear. And so, quite often you find out when you get there if you've won or received anything, and there's certainly a value to keeping things secret. But I think it was so interesting that you got as much lead time as you did on this. I know it's been difficult to keep it under wraps, especially with the recent media attention. But talk about some of the things that we've been working on and sort of the value of knowing ahead of time.
Yes, well, this gave us some time to do planning. We talked about what we want to get out of this. I mean, it can be an award, just another award that the community gets and goes on a shelf, and that's the end of it. Or, we can use this, as I mentioned before, a sense of pride for the community. We can celebrate, so rebrand. There's so many different options, and we're really trying to run with it and make sure that we garner as much attention, because this is, like I said, not just local, statewide, but it's national. So we want to, do some rebranding for our community, and then we're also planning a fall kind of hometown celebration so that Milledgeville can celebrate Milledgeville and the people here and the success and the progress, because there's been some hard times, but I think that, I don't know if I'm just being too excited about it, but I think we're going up now, and things are looking good. So we need to celebrate that and celebrate the work that has been done and the progress that we're seeing.
Yeah, well, you can look on any of the streets downtown and tell that we're moving forward, just because of investment that's being made into existing businesses as well as new businesses and ventures that are taking place. But I think that the forehand notice of the award, also serves as a competitive advantage. I know Jane mentioned Madison with the small best small town in America, and them not knowing. And so they really didn't have that same opportunity. And so it really was exciting in those first couple of meetings that we had to to really think about all the things that we could do, because, you know, the seal that's been developed, or the stamp, you know, for this designation, it's something that doesn't just go on Mainstreet things. It's something that we will use community-wide in our marketing efforts, locally and abroad, to again designate our community in a way that's special and unique, you know, to Milledgeville.
And we want it to be, you know, we've put on the seal our Main Street city, our great American Main Street city, and you know, we want the ownership. We want everyone to feel ownership for that. And like I said, it's not just downtown; it's the entire community. And this time that we've had to do the planning has been helpful, and for us to kind of wrap our heads around it, like I mentioned, and just figure out what we're going to do and make sure that we get as much out of this as we can.
Right. Well, and one of the, I guess, additional added benefits of you knowing ahead of time is they actually have the 3 communities, and the other two communities are?
Give me a second. Harrisonburg, Virginia, and Woodbine, Ohio.
Okay.
And I might have those states wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, those are the communities.
That's okay. It's still all very new, so it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. But the 3 of you will actually be presenting during the conference and being able to share with the attendees, you know, some of the successes or success stories. Yeah. So tell us about that.
We got we had an hour and 15-minute long segment. The 3 of us got to get up there and kind of to share our successes, our biggest challenges, the biggest progress, and then also take question and answers from other communities. So it's kind of nice and neat to serve as a, I guess, expert practitioner in the Main Street field at the nationwide conference. So we had a good time, and you know, I learned things from the other communities as well, which is obviously a great thing.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, Carlee, going forward, of course, we want to keep this momentum up and getting people to celebrate again our downtown, but our community, and downtown serving sort of is the heart of that community. Where can people go to find out more information, what's going on, all of that?
Okay, MilledgevilleMainstreet.com has everything on downtown, and we've recently revamped our website, so we're really excited about
it looks
how
awesome,
that looks.
by the way.
Yes, thank
Love
you.
it.
We're thrilled with it. Global Media did a great job. Get a little plug for them. But that's probably the best place. But then there's also the Chamber website. I mean, we have some great websites in our community for figuring out where to go and what to do. But the downtown
and there's always something going on. I mean, I think that's something that we both have found out firsthand is there's not a lack of activities and ways that you can get involved, and we're hoping to celebrate and share the video that was produced with our viewers, and they can look for more to come. So Carlee, thank you for being my guest. You've just watched another edition of MBC Connect. I'm April Bragg, and we'll see you next time.
Milledgeville was the state capital. In the past, the industry here was led mostly by Central State Hospital, so there was a lot of state jobs. You know, when that all ended, kind of downtown got very blighted.
What we have done since 2008 or 2009 is try to reinvent ourselves. We're the old state capital. We have 3 colleges here. We're a community of approximately 20,000 people. We've been able to find tax money dedicated to our downtown because we know how important it is.
We have plenty of incentives downtown that have helped to draw different businesses to downtown. Over the past 10 years, our 50-50 facade match grant has really transformed our downtown. 10 years ago, the look was very different. We had a lot of blighted buildings, many needed paint, just improvements to the windows. We have probably seen over 60 facade renovations.
What is the history of Campus Theater?
Well, the Campus Theater was opened in 1935 as one of the premier theaters at the time, part of the Martin Theaters group. And it was open until 1983. It's always important to us to take care of our facilities, especially historic facilities. So we wanted to be sure that we kept the architectural integrity of the building. So we did do a full, true restoration of the exterior. The facade we took back to its original glory. We're able to reuse the interior of the space while saving the exterior.
One of our biggest strengths in the Georgia Mainstreet program is our design services. And so we provide design assistance specifically for downtowns. Everything from facade grants to character area plans, corridor plans. We do anything that we can to help the community design a downtown, a Main Street area that will attract investment.
I remember visiting this town when I was 16 in 1996, I believe. My older brother's going to school here. And I've had the pleasure of watching it grow into what it is. We have a really fun downtown atmosphere and everybody's working together. And I'm starting to see some of these empty buildings are now getting bought and going to be building, other businesses, restaurants, loft apartments, things like that. So it's pretty cool.
To me, it says we're doing something right. Created an atmosphere where it's not just a plastic wall building. It's actually, we were talking about it earlier, the walls in here are even pretty, but we try to create an atmosphere within that says, hey, we're happy you're here. We're happy you're spending time with us. Thanks for maybe getting something from us, but also thanks for coming in and realizing this can be an extension of your life.
Recently, in the past year, we created a new program called Boost. It's a community-led and community-driven program that Main Street is kind of just in charge of.
With us being a startup company, being brand new, our cash was kind of tight, as you can imagine. And as any startup business owner will tell you, you need to try to fund whatever you can as cheaply as possible and still get it across. We needed signage, we needed a security system, we needed ways to help us save money, so we applied for the Boost grant. It was great to be boosted. Everybody runs in the door, holds up a big check with balloons, says you've been boosted. It's kind of like Publishers Clearinghouse a little bit.
And the money can be used for a variety of things. People feel really good about making donations and helping others. And the best thing about it is you don't have to repay it.
I'm really excited about Milledgeville, Georgia, because I think it's one of our best communities in the state. They've really taken on the historic preservation challenge that we all face in Main Street, but they've married it well with economic development. And I really think that once you come to Milledgeville, you'll understand why we all are in love with this place.